We have our White Wait Till Friday team here today. They're gonna start us off with some inspiration.
White Wait Till Friday was a dream. It was a thought. It was a vision that I had because I feel that in everyone that I've ever spoken to on my journey in private work, everyone wants to find joy. The question is, how often do we truly act towards the desire? I'm going to give each table a word. And you're going to come up with a very, very brief, either poem, 3 sentences, whatever you want, to describe that word as a team, as a group. Right here, your word is intentionality. Table 4, your word is enoughness. Table 5, your word is onward. I'm going to do as we do here at Why Wait Till Friday. I'm going to start with the middle table. Their word is presence. Do you want the mic or no?
No, I think I'm pretty loud.
Yes.
So for P, we put purposeful. Have a meaning behind your relationships. Take every person for what they can give and see what you can take from them. R for resilient. Be able to give but also take constructive criticism in return. Endearing. Listening with an open heart. Be simple. Sometimes we overdo our relationships, we overdo our moments, we overdo everything. Sometimes it's just a simple conversation, a simple just being there is enough. Be a mark in someone's life.
I'm gonna say that you just left your mark for me, because as a new movement and as something that I've dreamt of for so long and have worked so closely with humans, right? That's a privilege. For me, the fact that people come to me in their darkest of days and share so deep with me gives me the opportunity to meet people at a very, very deep place, which for me is an absolute privilege. But this, which is what this movement is all about, in a more grander scale, and in the opportunity to hear, we're not talking about problems right now, we're talking about proactivity. And how deep you guys just went with just letters and words has so much meaning. And I don't want us to forget that, right? Because it is in our presence that we give the greatest present. Yep. So the word was enoughness.
We wrote a little poem. When you feel like your cup is not full, remember what they taught you in school. You always do enough, that is why you are so tough. Enoughness is what you feel inside when you feel your best on this crazy ride. Wow. Oh
So what I would love is, for example, if you guys don't mind that you just wrote, if you can print it and put it up somewhere and remind yourselves every day a little bit that you're enough. Because you truly are. And there are days where, and I'm sure all of you feel this, I see that there's mostly women in here, but I'm not going to forget that I saw a man. But I feel that us women, with our hormones and with just in general, there's a lot of the up and down. And some days I feel like I'm super enough. And other days I feel like no matter what I do, I'm not enough. And I think that that's across the board as humans, right? So we have to be empathetic of that. And those reminders, like a simple poem for our students, for us, just pointing the finger at that poem is to remind us that in this crazy ride that we call life, there's days where we're at the top, and there are days where we're just not.
Okay. So we kind of named it the gift of simplicity. Okay. With ease, no stress, understood, easy, clear, small moments, straight to the point, enjoy the little things, humble and uncomplicated is the simplicity of simplicity.
So the reason why one of the words that I chose was simplicity is because we get really complicated. We do this to ourselves, right? We complicate the journey tremendously. And I get it, life gets complicated. There's things that are external, out of our control, that can be very complex and that can get hard. But internally, we complicate. It's by default, we do this to ourselves. And one of the messages at Why Wait Till Friday is to keep it simple. So like when we're talking about self-love and we're talking about finding joy and recognizing the middle moments in life, there's an idea that I want to make sure you all take with you, and that's that. Keep it simple. Don't make it too much. Make it attainable so that you're consistent and you can do it, okay? So don't forget, when we're dealing with Why Wait Till Friday, when we're looking at this poem in your school or whatever we want to call it, keep it simple. In the classroom, sometimes it is the most simplistic message to your students that leaves the greatest impact. Create a safe space for simplicity.
On the navigating way towards achievements with resilience towards our destination.
Whoa! So, here on Why Wait Till Friday, we have a podcast. And I'm going to humbly say that all of you should listen to our last episode. It's me interviewing my daughter on the power of resilience and one word. And the word she chose through the most difficult time in her journey and in her life was onward. A big part of why we're doing this activity is because I want you guys to recognize how powerful one key word can be in any setting. You know, sometimes when we're thinking of a theme, we try to figure out like this complex narrative, when the reality is that there is one word that can change a perspective for the rest of your life. One word is one of them. Because if we can think of it as like the only way is through, we learn to go onward. And you guys are pirates, right? Yes. So like when you think of onward, I think of pirates. I think it's so affiliated. I didn't think of that until right this moment, but like that's amazing. So I love it. Put that up. Amazing. All right, next. Intentionality.
So we wrote down like a few like key points and then like a little phrase. So live with a purpose, set and carry out goals, be physically, mentally in the moment, and our words are meaningful. So intentions woven into every choice we make, shaping our destiny with every step we take.
Wow. Oh my God, we need a quilt with those words. I can like see it. Wow. That was super intentional. That was amazing. Intentionality. So at Why Wait Till Friday, we don't focus on outcomes. We make sure that we stay true to intentions. And I think of this a lot when it comes to school and the classroom. I was a counselor at schools for a long time. That's how I got to meet Elaine. And something that I think we need to understand is that sometimes children, parents, get really hyper-focused on the outcome. And that's how they put value to themselves. And outcomes vary. And sometimes we don't really have control of an outcome. Sometimes we can try really, really hard on something, and the outcome is not what we expected. So when our intentions and our efforts are pure and good, that's where the recognition should truly lie. Because when we can get people to stay with the right intention and connect with that on the journey, then they begin to accept what their outcomes are and feel a self-confidence that becomes contagious and then leads to continued success. But when we get stuck and fixated on what an outcome is supposed to be that we may never achieve, we begin to avoid. The student that feels that the only way to be successful is to have an A in a class like math, and they are never going to have an A in math, gives up. They avoid. They stop doing their work. They stay silent in the classroom. They act out. And it's because to them, they're never going to be successful based on what they believe is success. But when we can change all of that and get focused on the intentionality and the effort of the child, and we start to recognize that, even us as adults, and we start to understand the power of intention, the power of effort, it becomes contagious. And now you're like, you know what, I got a C, but I tried so hard and they recognized me because I intentionally did what was good for me. It's not fixation on outcome, but more on intention and effort. So that was amazing. I love it. Matters and everybody's different.
Everybody points at me.
What's the word?
Middle moment.
Oh, I like this. All right, middle moment.
Okay, middle moments is on my mind. Are you stuck in the middle all the time? Are you content in what you find? Trying to be ahead of others? Too much work? Nah, relax, don't bother. If you're in the middle, it's not so bad, but you miss out on what you can have. Stop wearing those comfy shoes. Break out and do all you can do. Who's stopping you? No one but you.
She writes it down. Freaking
Dr. Seuss in the house. I have like grown kids already. It's been a long time since I hear something like that. But the reality is, think about it, right? I absolutely amazing, right? So I want to make sneakers with those words, right? Like take off the comfy shoes. So middle moment, it's a big one for me because it's foundational to why wait till Friday. So when we talk about life and we dig a little deep, we're always either low or high. We talk about getting through the thick of a difficult time, like when it's already like we're crying, everybody sees it, there's a lot of emotion, we get support. Or we talk about like graduation day, which is the high, which lasts 3 hours and it's once. And we forget that the true value of life is in the in-between. That it is in the simplistic middle moments of our life that we truly write our story. We get so uncomfortable in the now that we're always looking for something more or creating a problem to be in the failure, quote unquote, side. We get really uncomfortable in the middle as humans. And at Why Wait Till Friday, we love the middle. We encourage you to recognize the middle moments in your classrooms, in your lives, in your homes. They are the most simplistic moments in your life that fuel your joy. If we wait for the low or the high to live our life and to pay attention, we've missed the bulk of the story. Think about a book, think about a movie. There's a beginning and there's an end. But the truth is that the bulk of all of it is in the in-between. And that's what the life of Why Wait Till Friday is. We always wait till Friday. Well, what the heck happened to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday? If we live one day of the week where we celebrate something, we're missing a hell of a lot. So let's not wait till Friday and let's be present on a Wednesday. Make it count, make it matter. Enjoy your middle moments. They truly are the bulk of the story. I'm going to use this because I'm a huge gymnastics fan. I was a gymnast, if you can't tell. And in watching the Olympics and watching Simone and just listening to her story, and yesterday was a track star who was also talking about his journey. I forgot his name. He was amazing. But the reality is, Simone won a medal, many medals in these Olympics. But her true medal, and the reason why we're valuing these medals so much and putting so much emphasis, is because of the journey from 2021 or 22, whenever it was, to now, 2024. What happened from that moment where she took the decision to step away because of a mental breakdown and a mental block, and then getting back up and doing it again. It is the power of the in-between that is the medal. It's the noise falls in the storyline. The outcome is just a moment. It's what the world is seeing and what we're celebrating, but if we really, really think about it, and we sat with Simone today, the power lies in every middle moment and achievement that has happened that led her to have the courage to get back up and keep going. There was intentionality. There was some feeling of enoughness somewhere. There was a principle of onward. And simplistic approaches to the mat, to the beam, to the bar. She said it over and over again. I don't take this so seriously anymore. So many underlying messages in our life story. And we forget to pay attention. Okay. All right.
Joy. Purposefully looking, intentionally feeling, using your senses to notice the little things that matter the most.
Today we choose joy. I think that's what my sweatshirt says, am I right? Yeah. Joy. I'm going to tell you this really quick. Feelings, you might want to write this down somewhere, are emotions in motion. Joy is a fundamental characteristic that you own. Am I allowed to curse?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, nobody can fuck with your joy. Listen up. Listen up.
Mic drop.
Okay. Seriously. The reason why joy, and I love that your administration has chosen that today I choose joy, is because here at Why Wait Till Friday, we are firm believers that you have the power to control the joy in your life. Feelings like sadness, anger, frustration, happiness, anxiety, these feelings come and go. Feelings are emotions in motion. When you're dealing with a student in a classroom that has a high level of feeling, give them 7 minutes. Try it. When we are in a hyper emotional state, give yourselves 7 minutes and watch that decrease. Even happiness. The spike of that level of happiness at graduation lasts a minute. Joy is yours. You own it. It's a characteristic within you. And it is our job to find it and feed it a little bit every day, so that at our core, it holds us up. No matter what storm comes, when joy is something you have proactively fed in your life, you can withstand it. Somebody asked me the other day, I mean, it's all the work you've done, and I said, no, what has happened now in my life is that even in the grandest of chaos and storm, my joy pokes at me. It reminds me that it's there. I'm still able to find the little things in the middle that are of value to me, that are my why not. And I encourage you to wear your sweatshirts with pride. To remind yourself when you put it on that you own your joy and that no one can fuck with it. And bring that to the classroom. And remind your students that feelings are emotions in motion, and we all have them, and it's okay to feel. We gotta feel to heal. But joy, that's ours. Consistency, all right.
Consistency, consistency, consistency. Acting or done in the same way over time especially so as to be fair or accurate. Consistency done with fidelity will always lead to success. And we wanted to end it with a quote that we found that we liked. Consistency is what transforms average into excellence.
So I feel that anything that we do, so if I come here today and I talk to you and you follow us and you follow my journey and as the visionary of Why Wait Till Friday and all the great things, and you listen to our podcast, but then that's it. It's going to fuel you for a second. Consistency, simplistic approaches, and intentionality is what changes lives. It doesn't matter the story. It doesn't matter what's happening around you, because we all have a story for sure. Don't forget that when you're dealing with your peers and they come in the morning and they have a bad day, don't just turn your face and call them a bitch. Think that maybe they're weathering a storm. It's all good. We could be weathering storms. We have lives at home. We come into the classroom. We got to put on that mask. We got to put on that game face no matter what. You are each other's support. So I want to make sure that in this message of Why Wait Till Friday and all this that we're doing today, and hopefully throughout many years to come and throughout this year, you don't forget the 3 key elements of Why Wait Till Friday. We keep it simple. We stay intentional, and we remain consistent. Think about every aspect of your life and how, if we keep it simple, if we remain intentional, and we stay consistent, it's a different approach. There's nothing like a proactive approach to life where you write the story and you become a character of the book. You are the author. You own your joy. Be proactive, not reactive. There's tremendous value because when we create intentionality to the things that we do, we hold ourselves accountable. I'll give you an example. To hold myself accountable, every Sunday, I create the intention behind my workouts. Sometimes it's for my children. Sometimes it's for my marriage. Sometimes it's for my work. Sometimes it's for my parents. It varies. Sometimes it's for me and for my sanity. But what happens is when I write it in my journal, which is my notes on my phone, that's the truth, I can show you, I'm held accountable because I'm never going to let that intention down. I've put it in the universe. So I get the job done, I work out, it helps me fuel my joy, I stay consistent, and I keep it simple. I'm not in the gym 4 hours, I don't have time for that. Awesome for those that are. But I don't compare myself to the human that has 4 hours to work out. More power to that human, but that's not my narrative. But I can give it 30 minutes, I can give it 40 minutes. I can take a simplistic approach, it can remain intentional, and it keeps me consistent. All of those things fuel your joy without you even knowing that you're fueling it. So when the storm comes and the kids in the classroom are chaotic and you feel like you want to say, I'm just not enough, I'm done, somehow joy will poke at you and will remind you that it's okay, that you are enough, and that all the work that you've been doing every day matters. And I promise you that. It can be the darkest, most difficult, challenging moment. And all of a sudden, when you've been fueling that joy, there's something within you that reminds you, like, hey, I'm Joy. Remember, we're authoring this story together. I don't know if anybody here has seen that movie by Disney, Inside Out, I think it's called, or something. I mean, the movie's a little cheesy, but the storyline is all about that. I couldn't believe it. It's about how joy is what we've got to make sure is the strongest, and how every other emotion comes and goes. But if we're a person who's anxious, like 90% of our population, and we feed that anxiety every day, it's gonna get big. It's gonna grow, no questions asked. And if we have this fundamental characteristic of joy within us, and we ignore it, it's gonna deplete. But if we feed it, it's gonna grow. Stay intentional, be consistent, and own your joy. And most importantly, never, and I mean ever, wait till Friday. All right?